Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Suson Essentials on the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jodi Suson. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Female Solution Blog Talk Radio Self-Care. And I'm excited to talk to you today about the bitter taste to sugar. What does that mean? Well, sugar is very, very sweet. We all know that, but there's kind of like this bitter side to it that some people don't know about. And today I have a wonderful guest. Her name is Kelly O'Brien, and she's going to talk to us, and I'll bring her on right now. Kelly, I'm going to add you to the stream. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Great.
So, Kelly, tell us a little bit about you, and you're Us Against Alzheimer's, which is, Alzheimer's is highly impacted by sugar, and we'll talk about that. But first, share with the audience about you and why you do what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I have been interested in the brain really since I was a kid. Just on a personal note, when I was very young in kindergarten, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And so my brain was front and center in my life very early. I always had to manage my brain. And, I've grown out of that, thankfully. Since then, it does happen if you catch it early. In some cases, that you can grow out of it, at least the kind of epilepsy that I had. But that sort of interest in how my brain works and how my body is connected to my brain has been something that has been a theme throughout my life. And so in my professional career, I've done a lot of things, but mostly in, I would say, the genre of public policy, advocacy, and public health. So I've been very engaged in issues around physical activity, nutrition, mental health, public health in general, public health infrastructure, community-based health, all sorts of issues related to how our community takes care of each other. And most recently, over the last 3 years, I've been leading a brain health initiative for Us Against Alzheimer's, which is a national nonprofit organization, an advocacy or patient advocacy organization that works to end Alzheimer's. And one of the things that we do, among many, is very actively advance research and try to translate research into knowledge around what's possible in terms of reducing your risk for dementia as you get older. And as it happens, how that is possible is deeply related to the other parts of my life and public health in general, because, and we'll get into this, so many of the risk factors for dementia as you get older are actually the same things that trip us up on pretty much every other chronic disease: physical activity, mental health, nutrition. And so it's really the same message, over and over and over again. So it's been really gratifying, especially as I get older, to be working on something that feels very empowering. And I have Alzheimer's in my family. And so, I share, as, if you would ask me this a decade ago, I would have been where I think most Americans are. Well, we know where most Americans are because we've all surveyed them, which is that they think that if they have the gene or if they've got it in their family, basically that's it. They're screwed. They're going to get it, like it's coming. And, the good news is it's not true, so that's what I do in a very long nutshell. So thanks for having me.
And so cool. Of course it's not true. I mean, I just love, first of all, your background's amazing. And you haven't even told about everybody because, tell people what you do on your off time.
I sort of, how do I say this? I'm an aging optimist. Like I really, I'm excited about this next phase of my life. And I feel stronger, better, faster now than I ever did, especially in my 20s and 30s. And a lot of what I do is adventure racing and competitive running and triathlons all over the world. And, I do that for lots of reasons, but the first of most, I think, as my mother would say, when I once asked her why she got a tattoo, she said to me, "'Cause I can." I just think I can. And I think that a lot of people as they get older just think they can't, and so it's been a real joy for me to be able to, do those things and to challenge myself and along the way sort of test my nutrition and different kinds of health strategies on my own, for my own personal well-being and for my strength, and
I do the same thing. I certainly don't run triathletes. I'm not a triathlon. I used to be a bodybuilder, picture in there, but I actually, which is also really great for the mind. I spend a lot of my other time, if I'm not having physical activity or creating recipes for health, meditating.
Yeah.
Because it's just, for me, meditation keeps me and my mind balanced and centered and not a fight or flight, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I really, I belong to a gym, a well-known brand gym in town. And when I joined about 3 years ago, I walked in. I'm also a meditator, many retreats. I'm a certified meditation instructor. Yeah. I walked into the gym and I said, do you have meditation classes? And she said, no, we don't. And it's a physical activity gym. And I was like, well, your brain's part of your body, isn't it? Like, why aren't gyms offering meditation? Like, now they're actually starting to do a little more of that, but I don't really understand the separation. You know, it just, to me, like, it's the most important organ in our body, and yet we treat it like it's this odd thing. So why wouldn't you work it out? Like, why wouldn't you do meditation? Like, that's the workout for the brain, right? So.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm just confused why people don't acknowledge the brain and are embarrassed by the brain, and there's a stigma with the brain. And I'm like, peeps, it controls every organ.
Everything.
In the body. Love your brain, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, look, we're in the middle of the Olympics right now. Elite athletes know that, right? They have lots of brain training. If you're, you know, the military, the special forces, I tell you what, they do a lot of mental training. And that's because they know that these things are not separate. You know, you can't be strong physically and not mentally. It doesn't work. So, or at least not for very long.
Right. And it's interesting. On many shows we talk, and I just don't have it with me because it's in our meditation room, because we meditate here. We have a BOD, and the BOD is a bioacoustical utilization device, and it's sound frequency based in shamanic drumming. FDA cleared device, actually helps people who have epilepsy, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it puts it in a theta state, gets rid of things like PTSD and so forth. But we use that daily, sometimes multiple times a day if it's a bad day. Well, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's we really believe in supporting the brain. And I think one of the things that some people forget to take into consideration is what they put in their body and how it impacts the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're here to talk about sugar. And if it's okay with you, you know about the bliss point? Are you familiar with that story?
I don't think I am.
So I'm going to start the show off with the bliss point, because this is how everything got started. The onset of where we're at today. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go into all the details that we're going to go into. Is that fair?
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks.
Sure. So there's a film that if anybody emails me at Jodi at SusonEssentials.com, I will send you the film. It's called That Sugar Film. And in that film, they talk about what's called the bliss point. And the bliss point is the exact amount of sugar that's in your cereal, that's in your soda, that's in your macaroni and cheese, to have you crave more. It was created by the man, I think it's Moskowitz, who created the formula back in the 60s when the soda Dr. Pepper was created. So he created this formula and sold that formula, the bliss point, to every food manufacturer in the world. So as a result, all of our processed foods, which are not really good for you anyway, have the exact amount of sugar in it to have you crave more of what you're eating or something else that has sugar in it. So for those of you who have a sugar addiction, you don't need to blame yourself, but you just need to be aware. So that's the story. That's how sugar became so prevalent in our entire food supply. So it was sold.
Well, you know, it's not surprising. I mean, look, people use science for all sorts of things. I mean, it shouldn't surprise any of us that the food industry uses it, right, to sell things. So, I mean, the marketing industry uses it to sell us ads on Facebook. You know, I mean, I'm not surprised at all by it. I think what is, you know, and it's sad, and I think there needs to be a ton of reform. That's a lot of the work, I don't know if you know Dr. Mark Hyman. He's very active in lately his last book about looking at the food system and what needs to be done systemically, which I think is really important because, a lot of this stuff we're sort of being fed literally. But I also think that it's really important for people to realize they have some agency over that, right? Like you don't have to buy the stuff that, there's things that we can do, which is, I think, unlike air pollution, which is a hard, a sticky wicket, right? You either got to move or, it's hard to combat.
Get a
like
really good air filter.
Control over, so it's not like a complete, well, there's nothing I can do about it because the food industry is, rigged the system. They have rigged the system, but that we can find our way through if we're.
What are those ways?
Fair enough. Well, it's the same things that everybody else is talking about. I think there's, a couple quick things that I do. I don't know, that I'm sure you do too, is just be conscious of what is good and what's not good and check labels, right? And I shop now a lot at Aldi, to be honest with you. And I think, I'm really pleased that there's been at least the one thing that has changed over the last, 5 years at least is they're working harder to get better food into more places. It wasn't always true that was the case. Certain neighborhoods or communities, it was very difficult to get access to fresh, healthy food. I think that's becoming a little bit easier and a little bit more affordable, but it's still a problem. But it's possible now to be a sort of aware consumer, even in the grocery store. And, I try to do that. I try to pay attention. I happen to use a fitness, like a food tracker, so I can track my nutrients. And I do that for my health in general, but also because I'm a fitness geek. So I'm interested to know if I had a really rough run this morning, what did I eat yesterday and the day before? And I take note of that so that it helps me kind of figure out and recalibrate like what's helpful and what's not. So
now I know why, but I don't think anybody else knows why. Why are you looking at the last 48 to 72 hours or even 12 to 72 hours?
I don't know. I'd be interested in your thought on it, but I just, I think what you put into your body has an impact. It takes a bit for it to metabolize, and it has an impact on the way that your body processes, sugar and fat and energy. So if my energy is low one day, it's usually because of what I ate a couple of days before, or in the case of, this past week, it was really humid, it was hot, I didn't have enough water,
Right. So, those are huge things. Like, how hydrated are you? Right. Yeah. Then the other question is, a lot of people don't know that, let's say you're eating a food that causes inflammation for you. And it could be a whole food. It could be an apple, right? But we don't know that until you've eaten it, but it may not show up. Like the sensitivity or inflammation, which will slow you down, can show up anywhere between 8 to 72 hours after consumption.
Yeah, and that inflammation also affects my recovery. I can also, especially, I hate to say this because I don't believe age is an excuse for anything, but we all get a little aches and pains, and if my hip hurts or my knee hurts or my ankle hurts or something, I also track and pay attention to what I'm putting in my body, because if my body is inflamed, if you will, the chances are that pain, I feel that in the recovery, and it takes me a little bit longer. So, I don't overthink it. I don't want to, this isn't like super hard for people that are like, oh my gosh, I would never spend all that time. It's not that much time. It's not really that hard. It's just noticing.
Right. It's a moment.
It's noticing. It's just paying attention and noticing and being like, okay, yesterday I had, that, brownie. And today after my run, my knee's really bugging me. I don't know. I just noticed.
Oh, no, totally. Yeah. So I went to this restaurant in Crystal Lake. It's called 1776, and we're hoping to have them on the show shortly. They are a complete gluten-free restaurant and organic. And the food is amazing. Well, they do have sugar in their desserts. And we had the flourless chocolate cake. I'm in pain. That's how that shows up for me. Like if I have sugar, I'm in pain. So if people who are listening are eating sugar and you have pain, you can stop eating sugar and eliminate potentially some of your pain or all of your pain. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And I guess the way I look at it too is I think about sugar for me is like a low-grade poison. It's not good for me. That doesn't mean I never have it. I do. I just know what the impact is going to be. So if I decide I'm going to have ice cream cone with my nieces, I'm aware. I'm enjoying my ice cream cone for one thing. I'm like, this is a big treat and I'm going to enjoy every freaking bite of this thing and relish this moment I have with my nieces and not feel guilty for having this ice cream cone and beat myself up for the last, 24 hours. It's just not worth it, right? But I'm aware that I'm eating something that's a treat. It's not a sustenance. It's a treat. It's a very rare occasion. That's why it's special. And it may have impacts. Like, I don't drink, but if you have 2 glasses of wine, chances are the next day, maybe you don't feel 100%. Do you regret having the wine? Not always, right? So, it's just knowing and being conscious of what you're doing and what I'm doing. And that just helps me a lot. It helps me enjoy it more. Mm-hmm. And I don't restrict myself and say I'm never having this. That would never happen. But
and here's the thing. Have you ever tried, when you've had sugar, have you ever tried having oregano, essential oil or oregano caps afterwards?
I have not tried oregano. I do tend to drink a lot more water. I try to hydrate a lot more, when I'm drinking, when I'm having sugar, especially if it's late in the day. I try to, before I go to bed, make sure that I hydrate. I have not tried oregano. So I'd be interested in your thoughts on that. But yes.
I've used oregano when I've had ice cream or something with sugar in it. And so oregano helps with your gut health. Besides the fact that it kills things like, different types of unhealthy bacteria, viruses and things. And this is not approved by the FDA. Let's just say that. Because then they'd have to write a prescription for the plant. But I take it and it offsets the sugar. Like, I don't know how, I actually don't know the science behind it, but like if you have candida, you can be taking oregano and it'll offset the sugar. So you're muted. So, okay.
Yeah, no, I was just nodding in agreement. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'll definitely give it a try.
It's easier.
Yeah. In general, I just, I think I have the same, sugar is in particular a poison, as you say, because
it's a substance.
The addictive nature of it is very challenging. Unlike red meat, where it's rare that somebody's like addicted to red meat, although I suppose it could happen. But it's also a poison, right? Like also a treat. Like, not saying never, but probably not the best idea on a regular basis. But sugar, unlike that, is something it's hard if you get going to get off. It's really a challenge, and so it's a particularly dangerous
drug.
Particularly dangerous because it's if you've ever been addicted to sugar, and I have on occasion, and it goes like this, right? If I'm honest, I'm not perfect. It's an emotional, mental roller coaster that you're onto, the shame and the constant, it's a very challenging substance to get off of. And so that's another reason why I think being aware and conscious, and, if I'm having the ice cream, I know that the next day is probably going to be a little harder to stay away from sugar, but that it's more important to do it, right? So that I'm not back on the train. It's a really sticky wicket.
What does it do to your brain, Kelly?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking that question. So it is from, I think both in mental health and in dementia, they've looked at sugar and in relation to impacts on the brain, and diabetes is one of the risk factors for dementia. So that should say a lot right there. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I was a chairperson in 2017 or 18 for the ADA's Expo. So
yeah, so I won't go. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to go into a whole thing on diabetes, but I think the role of sugar is quite clear, and a lot of people, especially as I get older, have diabetes, and that's related to our diets as well as a lot of other things. So it is absolutely a risk factor for dementia, but also mental health challenges as well. There's been just an incredible amount of research around depression and anxiety. For me, what that does is it puts me on a roller coaster, that's hard to manage. It shoots your sugar levels up and down, and that it's just like alcohol, right? It just takes you up, it takes you down, it takes you up, it takes you down. And it's a really challenging ride, especially if you're trying to, maintain some mental clarity and stability. It's not helpful. It doesn't mean that if you have clinical depression that you don't also need to be on medication. It doesn't mean that there aren't clinical things that you can do, but it is a really, really important, I think one of the most important things to take a look at that you can do on your own. And I think for me anyway, a lot of my anxiety issues have abated when my nutrition improved. That's not true for everyone, but I think it is true for a lot of people.
So I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up on that. So I was misdiagnosed having bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. No one looked at my diet.
Yeah, right. Why don't we do that? It's like what you're putting in your body. How can that not be a factor?
Right. And so when they don't ask, right, and they don't look, how do you know?
Right.
And so I don't know. To me, sugar is so, for people who have a diagnosis, and I'm not advocating, I never do, and I know Kelly's not either, so I'll just speak for you on that anyone should get off a medication that they're on that a doctor's recommended because you have a mental health condition. But what we are recommending, and I'm recommending for sure, is to take a look at your diet and look at the role that sugar's playing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it lights up 8 pleasure centers in your brain, and cocaine lights up 1. So, I think I probably have a little infographic about that. But it's, to me, I think there's a lot of people who have diagnoses that not necessarily are accurate. And so you're medicating yourself with sugar so that you can feel better for the moment. Then you're being given a prescription, much like me. And I'm actually going to show this. I don't always on every show. So I was actually on a sad diet as a bodybuilder. Hostess cupcakes, Twinkies before a workout. I had so much pain, but when I finally got properly diagnosed, not really. They put me on 17 different drugs to handle like the bipolar disorder. And I gained 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And so what happens if you just ask somebody about their diet and help them modify? And I want to just say to people who are listening in or watching, no one says it's easy.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's not easy. Yeah, it is very challenging. There's no life hacks. I'm a big anti-life hacker. Like if people says there's some shortcut to something, it's usually not true. It just takes a little work. And I think, what was I was going to say something about your, if you were diagnosed and I think, sugar your diet isn't the only thing, right, in your life. It's not like this brownie caused dementia, right? But it is a really important factor. And if you're concerned about your mental health, or you're concerned about developing dementia, or even if you've already begun to develop some cognitive impairment symptoms, why wouldn't you want to tackle that from all angles? And so that's how I look at it. It's a tool in the toolbox. That's a really important tool. And I guess one of the things that I would highly recommend is that you ask your doctor about food. And I guarantee you that they probably will dismiss it. A lot of cases, the doctors will say, it's not, don't worry about that. Let's talk about this medication. Or that's probably going to happen. That doesn't mean it's still not a good idea to raise it with your doctor. Because they need to be educated, and we need to push the healthcare system to start having this conversation. And if patient demand is high for better risk reduction, then the medical system will respond. So ask your doctor, hey, do you think my diet has a role in this challenge that I'm having? What could I do better to help in terms of what I put in my body? Is there any research on X, Y, and Z? Ask your doctor. It's okay if they don't know the answer. I guarantee you, if they don't know the answer, any good doctor is going to go back and look it up, right? They're going to feel flat-footed, and they're going to go back and go, God, I really should know the answer to that. That's how this is going to happen in part, right? I mean, the big hand of government is not going to come down and make every doctor do X, Y, and Z. I mean, I think it's really important to have some agency in that discussion, and don't accept, here's the pill for your solution, without also, okay, thank you. What else can I do? Is there anything else I should be doing? I'm exercising this much. Is that enough? I'm eating this. Is that okay? I think we just need to push it.
Well, wait till you see what I'm going to show you.
Good. Oh, great. I'm excited.
So, do you see this screen? That's Andrew, by the way. Which most, not everybody in the world knows he's my boyfriend, but that's my boyfriend. And we partner with a company called My Formulary. And what it does is allows a patient to go to the website and give you clinically proven condition-specific food recommendations. So practitioners can enroll in this for their patients, associations, 501c3s, doctors, health clubs, and within the next, let's say, week or 2 weeks. So this is just a website. And every food choice is tied back to a PubMed study. So if you have diabetes, you have Alzheimer's, you have Parkinson's, you want to know, is this food okay? It ties it back to a PubMed study. Yeah, Kelly, this is a great food for you. Have this. Hey, Kelly, not a good food for you. Here are 3 or 4 options. So today it's on a website. In a week or 2 weeks, depending on the rollout, it'll be tied to your phone and an app. And on the app, let me just show you this. This is really cool. And it's kind of hard. Let me just go to the landing page. Let's see if it's showing up. Nope, not yet. Give me a second. It's processing. But on the landing page, oh, there we go. Let's see if I can see that now. Not yet. Okay, let me remove that and then add to stream. Let me remove from stream and go back to here. That's why. So, and then we have Zelda Robinson is going to be joining us in just a minute. Let me go here. So Chrome tab. So check this out. So you've got your phone, you enter in your health condition. Can we see that on the screen now?
Yeah.
You enter in your health condition, you get a green light for go and red for no.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it says over half of us are reading product labels looking for the beneficial or harmful ingredients to improve wellness, treat disease, and increase immunity. And most people read the fact chart but miss ingredients. And who can say ICO, whatever it is, acid, and know that it's the healthiest part of the fish? With over 10 years of research and development, we finally made it simple to know what's right for you, and for those you love, try it free for 30 days. So it's graded. You can put in whatever disease, heart disease, high cholesterol, congestive heart failure, Alzheimer's, it's simple.
Really, yeah, that's terrific. I mean, I just think anything that helps gives us as consumers more power to know what we're putting in our bodies is really.
Yeah, it puts the power back in your hands for sure. I'm going to add Zelda Robinson to the stream. She reversed type 2 diabetes. Zelda?
Good morning.
Kelly O'Brien.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, my sister from another
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear your story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Zelda's got a great story. And we met when I was the chairperson of the American Diabetes Expo in Chicago. And Zelda was there as one of the exhibitors and sharing her story. And go ahead, Zelda. Share your story.
I think it's 7:36 and we need to take our first commercial break.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So let me do that. So
I'm old school. I worked in commercial radio before I came to Blog Talk. I retired from commercial radio, so my mind is always on the clock. We had breaks every 15 minutes, so it's programmed into me. It's like, it's break time. It's break time.
Hard.
Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. Yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing.
It was amazing.
At Suson Essentials,
we support both
businesses.
consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees.
that was weird. Was that duplicating on your side too?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna run Zelda's in.
Oh, you think this was something you should have heard? Did you? You didn't hear yesterday morning.
You worry.
Advice.
Family, health, job, relationships. Are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answered yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. You only feel this way because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really food for the soul. Whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type 2 diabetes, publish a book, promote your product or service, or just make extra money. Take advantage of the deal of the day. Go to zeldaspeaks.com or call 312-409-6619. Mention promo code The Female Solution and get free shipping. That's zeldaspeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit zeldaspeaks.com.
Okay, I'm going to try this other commercial again real quick.
Hi, I'm Jodi Suson with Suson Essentials. I started Suson Essentials in 2015 because of a personal health journey. I was over-medicated and put on 19 different medications. And yes, I reversed all my chronic diseases using plant and energy-based healing. It was amazing. At Suson Essentials, we support both consumers and businesses, and we do that with helping your employees or yourself with a food as medicine mindset. How Suson Essentials supports businesses and consumers is we teach people about a food as medicine mindset. So we support people on how to support their own immune system, how to support their brain health, how to support their emotional well-being. And we do that all with plant and an energy-based healing.
Success! Woohoo! Got to So Zelda, tell us your story about reversing type 2 diabetes and what you did to get off of sugar.
Well, let me be, excuse me, upfront first. I'm not off sugar. Mm-hmm. I am constantly. It's a battle every day because everything we eat has sugar in it. Everything. So even though I have the Grow Tower, and it's still a struggle. But sure. I don't add sugar to anything because I know everything that already has sugar in it. Anyway, 2013, I believe it was. We met in 2016 or 17, something like that. Anyway, had an accident en route to the operating room. Well, actually, I'm still in my hospital room. And, you know, the little band that they put on your wrist to identify you. Zelda Robinson, yes. Age, yes. Live here, yes. Diabetic. Oh, wait a minute. What you say? Diabetic. Oh, you sure you got the right Zelda Robinson? Yeah, honey, we got the right one. You're diabetic, so just want you to know that before you go into surgery. I'm like, wow, what a wonderful thing to know on my way into surgery. Long story short, came out, had to start on metformin, and I'm told that metformin destroys the kidneys and everything else. And I said to myself, yeah, I do talk to myself. You've got to find a better way to do this. And I don't know what way it is, but get quiet, meditation, do what you do. And I'm talking to my sister one day, and she says, I have a drink for you that'll help you get rid of diabetes. And I'm like, really? Okay. So she gave me the recipe, and I made it, and I was like, remember Joan Rivers? Mm-hmm. Can we talk here? But hey, I drank it, and it worked. I drink it every day. I got to make one this morning. Apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, and kale, and turmeric. All 7 of those ingredients, if you drink it every day faithfully for 6 months to a year, depending on your body chemistry, chances are your numbers are going to decrease dramatically. And when you go to the doctor and they ask you, what have you been doing? And are you out of your prescription? Yes, I'm out of my prescription. So what have you been taking? Apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. And she says, wow, well, keep doing what you're doing. But I'm going to give you this prescription anyway, just in case. So the prescription years later is I flushed it somewhere because I don't have it. And during my travels as a author and a speaker, author of How I Reversed Diabetes, Type 2 Diabetes. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And it's available at diabeticdonut.com. And it's free. All you have to do is go there and download it. It has a little of my story, my history, and the constant challenges that I face. And they are on, and I will be posting this morning on my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. So people know it's an uphill battle. It's every day. It's just
so
like.
I'm going to add something to your recipe. May I?
Oh, absolutely.
A hint. A touch, a pinch of black pepper.
Really?
It activates turmeric and makes it more bioavailable in the body by 2,000%.
By 2,000%? Okay, so if black pepper does 2,000%, I wonder what African red pepper would do, because I overheard that in a conversation one day, and I also heard that black pepper clogs the colon. Yeah. Unless it's the coarse black pepper. Yeah, I heard that.
No, I mean, so we're not putting a lot of black pepper. We're doing a pinch, which is just activating the turmeric, making it bioavailable in the body. That's all.
Okay. Then I will add that to the blog.
Kelly, can I ask a question? I'd be so curious to know if, since you started doing the drink, if you've changed any of your other eating habits.
Oh, yeah. I used to eat a whole potato pie. Now I just eat a slice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. I would eat a whole pie in 2 days. I was just that hook on sugar. Tell him, Tony. Oh, he's in the back. I would eat a whole sweet potato pie, a whole pie in 2 days. Have one for lunch, a slice for lunch, a slice for dinner, and a slice afterwards. It's so funny, though. I can't eat sugar in the morning. It makes me sick. So my prayers for sugar to make me sick all day, that hasn't worked yet.
It's sort of towards, oh yeah, monk fruit. Yeah, I love monk fruit.
Oh, yeah, the monk fruit. I keep saying
it's
I'm
sort
going
of
to get that.
Something that I think is a good sugar, like if people are trying to get more sugar out of their diet, the thing that's worked for me is don't worry about taking things away, worry about adding things that are healthy. So like you added this healthy drink, and it's really interesting if you start to add healthy things to your diet, how even without your awareness sometimes, the unhealthy things start to slip away because you don't need them as much. You're not as hungry, right? So I always think like, during the day, if I'm struggling with a sugar craving, I'll have some broccoli with a little bit of sea salt sometimes.
That's what I found.
Still want the sugar, then I'll eat it later. But it's like, I just like, let's try to put something else in front of me first.
Right.
And then the bad stuff sort of moves its way out over time. And sometimes it's a year.
Yes.
It's like you're crowding out the bad stuff. And it sounds like you kind of did that with your drink. Like you started your drink and then you stopped eating eventually you stopped eating a whole potato pie. It also helps. It's got to also help the diabetes, right?
It does. And I'm telling you exactly what you just said. That does make a difference because I stopped eating more sugar. I eat less sugar, but I eat more nutritional things. So for breakfast now, I eat a salad. And it just amazes me all of the nutrition that's in a salad. And by lunchtime, because my breakfast is not breakfast, it's more like brunch because I don't have an appetite in the morning. And when you eat the salad, it gives you the nutrition that you need, so you don't even crave the sugar. And I was like, whoa, eating a salad for breakfast, really?
Yeah.
And what happened is I ran out of breakfast food one day and had a salad, and I was like, wow, I could do this every day because it does make a difference. And you're not hungry. And you don't have the weight of the eggs and the fat and the grease from the sausage and the bacon and the biscuits. So it's a salad for breakfast is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And you feel good. You feel good about yourself too.
Yeah. I popped some
your bed in the morning.
on top of that lettuce, that salad. Because of those essential fatty acids, because it helps your brain.
Oh, and I've learned to eat avocados for breakfast too.
Yeah.
Avocado on a croissant or a slice of toast. Oh my goodness, it's better than jelly. It's better than jam. It is, and it's good. Avocados have a neutral taste, but in my mind, they're good. It's good fat, so it's like I'm enjoying it, so I don't care.
I think there was a question. Go ahead, Kelly.
No, I'm just gonna double down on that and say I have a running coach who's helping me with some physical activity challenges that I'm working on. And one days I was saying that I was really struggling. I felt like I needed more carbs because you need energy, right? Like you need energy to do these things. So I have to have some sugar, not refined sugar, but I have to have carbohydrates to get this thing done. But he said, next time you're craving sugar, have an avocado. Sometimes you're really needing fat. And I thought that was a helpful, tip. So sometimes I'm like, the first go-to, it seems like it's always sugar, but maybe it's not sugar. Maybe it's something else. So try that first.
Wow. And have you ever had an avocado smoothie?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know I could do such a thing. One day I'm just throwing things in a blender and I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking? Avocado smoothie. I'll have one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Costco has a avocados chopped up in little frozen cubes.
Do they?
So
really?
Yeah. Another thing, if you, which is, I love, if people are looking for, a way to have more energy in the morning. Do you think I'm drinking coffee in my mug? You assume maybe I am? I'm not.
Oh.
So I'm drinking dandelion coffee.
Mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah, with
My sister,
mushrooms, right?
my sister told me that too.
But it's dandelion, and I put in the monk fruit, so I get my
Mhm.
if I need it. But the dandelion's actually cleaning out your liver, and to what Kelly's saying, so you start putting in the good stuff. It actually you're also when you put in the good stuff, it helps to naturally detox out the bad stuff,
Mm,
reduces your craving for the bad stuff.
yes.
I really like your mindset, Kelly, about, see, I have a mindset about removal, right? And I like to say getting rid of, the sugar, the toxins. But I like your mindset. I mean, I like mine, but I also like yours, because yours is cool too, because it's like, well, just put in the good stuff so that your body can actually do what it does. So it's brilliant.
Well, I find for me
Indeed.
anyway, mentally, it's really, it's sort of like they say about what's the power of intention. Like the more you think about something, like they say, like, if you want to make more money, the thing to do is not to think about your debt, right? It's to think about making more money. So like, focusing on the things you want in your life and focusing on you want that to look like, as opposed to, for me anyway, focusing on the things I don't like about myself and that I want to get rid of. It's harder to do that because then I tend to obsess more about those things, right? Or beat myself up a little. So if I focus on, all right, if I eat this healthy salad for breakfast, I'm starting off feeling proud of myself. I'm getting my day off to a really good start. I'm a big fan of like making your bed in the morning too. Good accomplishment right off the bat, right? And, I'm thinking about like, wow, I feel healthy, and I'm visualizing like a healthy, strong person. That's much easier for me anyway than don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's just a little bit, because everybody's different. I tend to beat myself up a lot. And so it's hard, especially for things that are super addicting. When it's just really challenging, like we all know this, right? Like it's just really hard. Like if you slip up, it's human, I mean, it's a tough thing. So
And the world will beat you up enough. You do not have to beat yourself up. It's just coming from
it's hard.
all four corners. Back to the dandelion tea, Jodi. You can usually get it in a little box about this size, like a regular tea box. I think it's like $7-8. I go to Chinatown and I get a bag this big for like $7 because I drink it every day, sometimes twice a day.
Well, this
It
is
doesn't taste good, I'm telling you that, but it works wonders.
Yeah, but it's dandelion coffee, so it actually tastes like coffee.
Really? I don't like coffee, so it's not.
So I love coffee, and
I'm a tea drinker.
I'm not a big tea drinker. I try to go back to real coffee, organic coffee. It was lighting my brain on fire without the sugar. And we found my friend Jen Stennett, who has been on the show. We found the dandelion. It's Ticino is the brand. And
excuse me, how do you know your brain's on fire, Jodi?
Oh, so I am thinking so fast that the words I'm falling over my words and I can't speak.
Wow. Yeah, that is a brain on fire.
Well, yeah. I mean, so I'm thinking up here, but my brain doesn't coordinate with the function of the words in my mouth. It just doesn't work.
Have you ever recorded yourself doing that or had someone record you?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I just get my bot out and do that and bring back to a theta state in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Easier. I don't want to record that. No, thank you.
Wow. Okay.
We can record you, Zelda.
What was that?
We can record you, Zelda.
Oh, you don't want to record me?
Pretty.
Don't say that too loud. Tony might hear you because he will record me.
So it's just not pretty.
No.
Like it's not pretty. And I'm going to tell you. So I used to work. I launched the debit card program in '94, and then again in '96 for the rest of the world. And in '96, I remember I'm sitting in this boardroom with all these people. And I can't shut up because I have been shopping chocolate-covered coffee beans.
Oh, my goodness.
Coffee beans, people. sugar, caffeine, and more caffeine, right?
Oh my sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So if you're me at that, if you're doing what I did a couple decades ago, and you want to reclaim your health, just I don't know, try something different. Try, yeah. And what I was speaking to a doctor out of Nebraska yesterday, and he said, Jodi, I really feel like I need to optimize, like, take it to the next level. And he's working a lot. And I said, then you need to slow down. He goes, no, I can't slow down. I need to keep going. I said, well, actually, there's a whole book on slowing down so that you can speed up.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Right.
That's when you say that all the time. I'm like, what sense does that make?
Well, because when you can slow down your brain, you think clearly. It takes less time. It may not think. You may not believe that or understand it right away, but over time, we just lost her. Over time, what happens is you think smarter, you operate more efficiently with less of the stimulants that you're adding to the brain. The brain's not supposed to work, I think, at that speed. What do you think, Kelly? Oh, did I lose you? Oh,
no, here I am. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I have the same problem. I've been, it's food for me for sure. I can see, when that happens. But also trying to breathe. And I'm sure you can agree, you'll concur with that. But
so I wanted to share with everybody one other screen, and it looks like Zelda. Oh, I thought she was coming back in. People don't realize how many names there are for sugar.
Mm.
And there's well over 100 different names for sugar, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
So the site that we're looking at right now is Fab Tracker. It's alternative names for sugar. So you've got malts, maltose, maple syrup, molasses, fruit juice, fructose, glucose, brown sugar, brown rice syrup used to put me in a catatonic state, caramel, coconut sugar, which doesn't metabolize the same way as cane sugar, for the record, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, date sugar. So actually date syrup doesn't metabolize the same way either in your body. So date syrup is really good. I actually use this on top of a coconut ice cream that doesn't have sugar in it, right?
Huh,
so
that's
yeah,
amazing.
Oh, it's delicious. And they also, if you like having barbecue sauce, they make a barbecue sauce with date syrup. And again, it's not. Pardon?
I said it sounds amazing.
Oh, it is. I mean, I have so many.
I've had date syrup. I'm gonna look it up. That sounds great. Yeah.
So this brand is Date Lady. There's also Just Date. There's lots of options. And back to the list, erythritol. That's actually, that's a sweetener versus a sugar, in my opinion. But when you think about all of this, right, tapioca, when you think about the fact that there's all these different names for sugar, isn't that overwhelming? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, yeah. I have puppies here, so my dogs occasionally would like to join the show. So I've been trying to keep
and
them.
let them. I have a bird that joined your We are live. We are good. It is all good. So, want to bring them up on your lap? Are they lap dogs?
No. They're big, and it would be it's all good. Thank you, though. They're just fine right now. They're just fine.
My parents. I have two birds, a white-bellied caique and a sun conure. And the white belly cayenne has her own following. So let me bring Zelda back in. There we go. So go ahead, Kelly.
No, just I just wanted to, I know I have to step off soon, but if you don't mind, Jodi, I wanted to just say a few words about dementia prevention and some things that people can do.
I'd love to
step off. So a lot of what I do is advocacy. We've been talking here a lot about personal agency and the things that we all can do, which I think is critically important, and maybe even the most important thing, as we talked about, like talking to your doctor, or raising these issues with your doctor, taking your own steps to be healthy. But a lot of what I do also is encouraging the government to set up systems that encourage this and reward physicians for doing the right thing. So better payment systems, better Medicare benefits, for example.
Wow.
Things of that nature. And so one of the things that, so just really quickly, there are a lot of risk factors for dementia. A lot of people think that if they have the gene, I do, a lot of people have it in their family, that they're sort of doomed, if you will, destined to get Alzheimer's and dementia. And the truth is that our genetic material are risk factors, not determining factors. That it is a risk factor that I have this gene, but it does not mean that I definitely will get that. It is something. It is a factor in that decision, right, and in that outcome. And we know now that our genes are something that can be changed by our environment and by what we put in our bodies, right? And so, so it's really even more important for someone like me, or anyone who's concerned about their cognition as they get older and maintaining their memory, to think about their health now. And we know that, for example, in Alzheimer's, the pathology for Alzheimer's starts decades before there are symptoms. And usually it's in midlife when it's really important. And so the kinds of things that you need to pay attention to when you're thinking about protecting your brain as you get older are hypertension and your blood pressure, diabetes, nutrition, so plant-based diet. There's lots of references on that, which I'm happy to provide for your show notes if you like. Stress and depression are risk factors, so maintaining mental wellness, social activity, staying connected with your friends and family and loved one. Here's my puppy. Ensuring that you're keeping your brain vibrant and challenged, so doing different things like reading or cards of people, all sorts of things. So there's a lot of information. But the bottom line is that we're starting a campaign to ask the president and the Secretary of Health and Human Services to adopt a national dementia prevention goal, to really focus our health system on these sort of health and wellness activities. And we're encouraging people to write letters to the president and to the secretary. And if you don't mind, I don't know if you share resources with your viewers, but I'd love to send
you all day. Yeah.
Okay. I would love to send
I can put it in the thread as well.
Great. I'll do that, because if you'd like to, write a letter, there's an easy way to just click on this link, and then you can send a letter to the secretary and to the president saying, like, this stuff is really important. Like, our health system needs to support this, because not everybody has access to the kinds of things that we're blessed to have access to. And a lot of the benefits, hearing, for example, hearing loss is a risk factor for dementia. Medicare doesn't cover hearing loss. They don't give you benefits for so really trying to make sure that our health system is supporting the kinds of things that we need to be mentally healthy as we get older is what I'm working on. And I'll share that with you as I step off. Jodi, I'll send you a link to that and to a little bit more information for your viewers. And just really so appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys today. And Zelda, congratulations. Like, I'd love to continue this conversation with you and learn more about you. I'm just amazed at what you've done. And as we say, it's maybe simple, but it's not easy. So, keep on keeping on. And Jodi, thanks for having me as a guest. I'm grateful for that.
Well, we'd like to have you back so we can talk more, do a deeper dive about what you're doing. We could do a whole show just on the advocacy.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Because that's huge, Kelly.
Yeah.
Huge. I'll share that all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And
Great.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so excited. I can barely stand.
Yeah. I'll send you a couple links and look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you.
Kelly. Pleasure meeting you, Kelly.
Bye now.
Have a good run. And
Okay.
speaking about advocacy, I was watching a video on YouTube the other day, and it just reminded me of how we have the power and we don't know it, because the first thing that popped in my mind when she said, get the president involved, I'm thinking, yeah, let's see how long that's going to sit on his desk before he does something, because he's under rule of big pharma, whether we know it or not, because that's who runs the country, corporate America. And it's going to sit on somebody's desk for a long time unless we, the people, make it a priority. And if it's not a priority for us, then chances are it's not going to be a priority for them, because they've got to do what they've got to do, and that is to keep us in limbo and in a state of being where we maybe think we're in control, but we're really not. But we really are. We just don't know it. And speaking of that tea, I found one. This is the bag, the burdock root tea.
That helps you manage your blood.
Great big old bag.
Yeah, and I want to talk about solutions. So I'm actually going to run the commercial, and then we're going to bring on Naima.
Okay.
Well, so
and I think it's probably break time. Yes.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
Suson Essentials is re-engineering what health looks like by leading you to the best wellness initiatives in the world. Start your coaching plan today and create a new paradigm of health. Click here to learn more.
With a place of peace pop-up from Suson Essentials, you are able to increase productivity, mental acuity, leaving you with higher energy and peace in just 20 minutes. We pop up at our office or yours.
all right, let me get Naima. Hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's so wonderful to be with you, beautiful ladies, this early in the morning.
Grand Rising Star.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Yes. You know, it's interesting that you're talking about sugar today. I actually woke up with that on my mind because I was thinking about, as a child, I was not told how devastating the impact of sugar can be on your teeth. Because I grew up with, adults who they had dentures. So I just figured that at a certain age, your teeth fall out.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know. And so my dental problems started when I was in high school, and we were raising money for our team, and we were selling candy, which, children always sell candy. And of course, you know how it is when you're selling stuff, half the time you're eating it yourself. So it was like Baby Ruth bars, and what were those other ones? That
with the nuts in it.
The nuts and the kind with the caramel.
Yeah, that one too.
And that real hard caramel. So I was
sugar daddy, sugar babies.
Yeah, I mean, I was eating
payday.
Paydays, yeah.
Paydays were one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Bars.
Butterfingers.
Oh God, Butterfingers was my weakness.
Mm-hmm. So
Payday was my weakness. It had the nuts, the caramel.
Yeah, that was mine too. So, I'm selling it during the day. I'm eating it during the night. And then, you come home tired. You don't brush your teeth after you've ate a candy bar. So I literally destroyed my molars during that period. And then it started to have its effect. So now that I'm of this age and, have teeth missing in the back, that is really affecting me. And, I wish that, of course we were told, but I wish that I had been more conscious of how destructive sugar can be on your teeth, because I didn't know that you're supposed to have your teeth your whole life. They're not supposed to go away. They're supposed to be the hardest substance in your body, and you're supposed to have them in your 60s. I didn't know that.
Wow.
I thought, everybody I knew that was older, they had dentures. You take them out at night, rinse them off, put them back in the morning. I thought that's
put them in a cup.
Yeah, put them in a cup. I thought that was a normal way of living. And then, of course, lately I've learned that you're supposed to have your teeth for your whole life. That's why they're called your permanent teeth. Once they grow in, they're supposed to stay there. I didn't know that. And of course, if you don't destroy them with sugar, they will be there. So, now I'm understanding that.
People need to hear what you're saying about that, Naima. Because that's a mindset. We grow up watching our parents, watching our siblings, and we are programmed to believe that that's the normal.
Yeah.
We accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
But if everybody around you is doing something and you just assume that that's
it's the norm.
It's the norm.
It's the norm.
And, now that I'm at an age where I'm learning all about health, I wish I had known in my earlier years so that I could have made better choices then. And sugar is something that's in everything. You look at the ingredients and you see sugar and things you have no idea have sugar in it.
Everything.
Because sugar is
my goodness.
I couldn't have asked you to set me up better.
I cannot believe this.
So I want to show you a video that I did at Costco. Okay.
Wow.
While you're looking for that, let me interject this right quick. The video that I saw last night, the guy was complaining about why are they putting sugar in cabbage?
What?
Greens. Who wants to eat greens with sugar in it? Are you serious? I could see salt, but sugar?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. What next?
Get you addicted.
Well,
addicted.
Because of what we talked about earlier on in the show was the very first 5 minutes, the bliss point. So the bliss, anybody who wants this movie, I will send it to them for free. You have to email me and request the access to the movie, That Sugar Film. Okay?
Okay.
And in that film, it tells you about the bliss point. And the bliss point is the formula that was created for Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
and the exact amount of sugar that has you crave more. Okay? So
you never get enough. There's no such thing as enough.
I'm going to run this.
Tell me about this kombucha. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, that's too cute. I love this. Can't hear you, Jodi.
I hear it. Hold on.
I'll make sure you got your volume up.
There
you go.
When you buy something, just because it's organic does not mean it's okay for you to consume. So let me do a quick turnaround here. This is going to be a 2-part video.
Yeah, the audio
one that I used to get, and I stopped drinking it once I realized it was 17 grams of sugar in it in a bottle.
That we have 18 sugars, and 18 of it is added sugar. So this promotes itself as being a healthy product, but it's really not so much, because after filtered water, your second ingredient is cane sugar. And this is not unique to Kirkland, right? So Andrew, go ahead and take out, we're going to show you Khabib is doing the same thing.
They're all doing the same thing. Because the government lets you get away with it.
So if you can see here, you've got 15 added sugars in your Kavita product. Now, not all Kavita products are done this way, so you have to check them all and make sure that the product that you're buying, which this one happens to be Kavita, kombucha, let's see, tart cherry, this one has added sugars. There are many Kavita products out there that don't have added sugars. And if we put this one down, I'll give you the one in my hand. Thank you, Andrew. And so this is another product. Let's just keep it straight up for people. It's organic, right? That's a beautiful thing. But then you take a look at this again, 24 added sugars. So you have to really read these labels. So again, the ingredients are a key juice, and I never pronounce that right. So you guys can all kind of sass me on social media. But the next ingredient is organic cane sugar and then organic tapioca syrup. When you see something that says syrup, you want to think sugar. So just want to keep you guys informed that this is not a cool thing. We have a functional, thank you, Andrew. We have a functional food program that allows you to learn all of this and more. Please feel free to reach out, 847-738-0242.
Wow. Do you think the government is going to change their behavior because there's 18 grams of sugar in this product and 18 grams of sugar in that product? No. When, as Kelly said before she left the show, when we adopt some legislation to go demand that the food manufacturers remove the sugar, I don't know if our generation will see it. I'll put it like that.
Well, the thing about it
be done.
Well, the thing about it, you have to realize that people who are in business are in business to have repeat business, and sugar is an addictive product. So there's no difference than the people on the corner selling crack. I mean,
none.
I need you to come back.
Say that again.
You're a repeat customer.
Please say that again.
Your body needs this, so that you have to come back.
Your body needs it. You don't have a choice.
Process, right? So it really is the responsibility of the people to choose that they're going to not have their bodies craving something in an unnatural way that makes them addicted to something that isn't healthy for them. It's a choice people have to take responsibility of making. Now, one thing I want to ask about, because I have been cultivating dandelions and burdock. Most people look at it and say, "Oh, weeds, kill them." No, my yard is. I've been cultivating these plants to make those products that both of you have spoken about buying. So, Jodi, I want to talk to you about the dandelion coffee, because I'm creating some products under the label we created last year, Pandemic Farms, and I've got burdock greens, got burdock root tea, we got dandelion greens. So I've got all of these plants grown organically, stored in my freezer, and now I'm developing the products. And so, I'm gonna put the ingredients on the labels and everything, so people see that there's nothing added in there. It's totally organic. But of course, it takes some research, because you want to make sure that it tastes good. You don't want people to feel like they have to taste something that's horrible in order for it to be good tasting. But
not even. Look at this.
Wow.
Do you know what that's made from?
And what is that?
That's made from dandelions.
Wow. See, I could do that.
It's like pesto. What is it?
It's dandelion salad.
It's pesto sauce.
It is pesto sauce. Okay.
Wow.
So I used pumpkin seeds or pistachio nuts. I put in garlic cloves, ginger, Parmesan, dandelion greens.
See, that's what I'm looking for. Recipes that taste good, that don't have added things like sugar in order to make it taste good and be addictive. And that's what we have to do. Just, keep trying things. And, we want it to taste good, but it shouldn't be artificially addictive. And that's what companies are doing. That's why everything has sugar in it. That's why it'd be almost impossible to even have the government say, well, make them take it out, because they're not going to take it out, because they need you to keep coming back and getting it, because your body's craving it.
Yep.
Well, so I don't know if you saw, and I probably didn't. So I'm going to show you what we're coming out with in a week. It's already available on the website for free. And I'll get you both signed up for free this week. But I'll show you. It's called My Formulary.
My Formulary?
Mm-hmm. So let me just get rid of. So My Formulary, I just need to stop the screen share here and then add this new tab. So My Formulary, this is so flipping cool.
Already now.
So what if you could go to the store? Look at this. So I'm bringing on corporations to offer this product to, let's say, if you're an insurance company, you can offer it to all of your, all the insured, okay? And they just put their brand here. But let's say you have arthritis, okay? You can go shopping with this app, okay? You scan the foods that you want to buy. You know, you see how on this page right here, there's a green thing here for arthritis, high cholesterol, hypertension. So the person who's shopping right now has those conditions, and they select their condition. Make sense so far? And then they just scan the UPC code. That's it.
Ooh.
And it says, this is good. So it's like green light, red light.
So what does that mean? Is something harmful in it when it flashes no?
Mm-hmm. So, but they don't just give you a no. They give you alternatives.
Why? Yeah.
Well, they also tie it back to a PubMed study. So a doctor
back to what?
Study. It's called PubMed. And they tie it back to a doctor peer-reviewed study that says this food that you're about to eat is good for you or bad for you. Everything.
Wow, that's a lot. And it's like your inner body, because some time ago, I noticed it's like everything that I eat, I feel it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Not down the line a week of 15 minutes later. I feel it immediately. Like when I had to quit going over my aunt's house, probably a cousin aunt, whatever she was, probably 10, 15 years ago, because every Sunday we would go there for dinner and have the Sunday dinner, greens, macaroni and cheese, cornbread and all that stuff. But at the end of dinner, she would bake a pound cake. And the moment that pound cake hit my lips, my big toe began to hurt. And I'm like, why does my toe always hurt? And I asked her what she put in it. She says, I can't tell you. I have to kill you, but you can come over one day and I can watch.
Pound cake.
So one day I went over and I watched it and I was like, it's a wonder I'm not dead.
Wow.
She put in 4 sticks of butter. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's why it's called pound cake.
And 4 cups of sugar.
How much?
4 and 4.
Wow.
The butter's not so bad.
The butter.
The butter
bad because I felt it. I felt pain immediately, and I love that woman, and I love that pound cake. But I couldn't keep going over there. I couldn't do it.
But it's a good sign, though. It's a good sign that you felt pain, because that means you've actually cleansed your body of enough impurities where when something that's not good for you enters you, so that's a good thing. If you felt nothing, then that's a sign that you're so full of garbage that you can't
look at it that way. Thank you for that. Aura, I love you. She's gone on with the ancestors. I love you, girl. But that pound cake, and I couldn't eat just one slice. I had to have 2.
Yeah,
and
then I take one home.
Yeah.
And then I'm hurting all week.
Yeah.
That pounding in that big toe. I'm like, and it only affects the big toe. I was watching a documentary that says wherever the weakest part is in your body, when you eat something that doesn't agree with you, that it will show up like if you got a bad knee, it'll show up on that knee. I was watching a football documentary. It'll show up wherever that body part is. Oh my goodness. By the time that we get to the age that we are seniors, seasoned citizens, you have developed habits that are not conducive to well-being.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge to get the cleanse going on, get that detox going on.
Yeah.
And that page that you put up, I went to it, and I'm putting it on my blog too, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com.
What page
There's
I have
so much information in there.
What page is that?
Yeah, I have to step away visibly, but I'll join you by voice.
Okay, and I got to plug up before I lose power here.
So I'm sorry, what page are you putting up on Zelda?
The one that you sent me this morning, the truth about cancer.
Oh yeah.
I'm posting it on my blog. The truth about cancer, cutting out the sugar detox.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That that's a lot.
Well, let me bring it up for people right now. I have all these links up, so let me, here we go. So I'll share that one. Just get rid of that. Hold on. So the truth about cancer was a huge, they made a huge contribution to my health because it was one of the docuseries that I watched, the first docuseries that I watched, that helped me understand all the things that were contributing to my demise. And so here we go. So this is Ty Bollinger right here. And he says the secret to detox success and long life is just cut out the sugar. You want to shop the perimeter of the grocery store, right?
Yes.
And, you know, here he says the American sugar consumption epidemic. He says the average American consumes about 100 pounds of sugar every year. And it used to be in the 1700s that the average person consumed 4 pounds of sugar every year. So we've gone from 4 pounds to 100 pounds of sugar every single year, which is equivalent to 126 grams of sugar that you're consuming if you're not, you know, eating just whole foods, which is more than twice the World Health Organization's recommendation, and the highest in the world. And so it leads to diabetes, heart disease, GI problems, inflammation, immune systems, brain health issues, your cognitive decline. If you want to have babies, think about it twice if you're eating a high sugar diet. The thing is that sugar is just really detrimental. Now, I want people to understand this. It looks like Zelda's on the, or not Zelda, Naima's on the switchboard. So let me invite her back in there.
I love her comparison, crack cocaine versus sugar. It's the same thing.
I'm going to show you guys.
It's the same thing.
Oh, actually, and Andrew's on the switchboard too. I went, can I add two people at the same time?
I don't know about the same time, but you can definitely add them.
Yep, I did. Okay. I think I've got, so Naima and Andrew.
They're not there. We don't see them.
Okay, you're all live. So Andrew, why don't you talk about sugar and brain health and Alzheimer's? Because I think you have a scan that can help people tell if they're going to be susceptible to Alzheimer's, 20 years in advance. Can you talk about that?
Wow.
Sure, I can talk briefly about that. Kelly mentioned that you do have
Alzheimer's and dementia is present in the brain before you see the symptoms. She also mentioned that because you have the gene which makes you more susceptible to dementia or Alzheimer's, does not mean that you have to get it. So the first I'll address is that yes, our scan at Amen Clinics where I work can show you Alzheimer's or dementia up to 20 years before you have the first symptom.
Wow.
Fortunately, I've had a brain scan because I worked there, so I got to have one. Fortunately, I don't have Alzheimer's coming. Sometimes my kids used to say that, but it's not true now. I can prove it. So I'm in good shape for that. You can see on the brain the different levels of blood perfusion in the brain, which shows the early onset of dementia. So that is possible to see if you look inside the brain scan for what we do. The second thing is you are not doomed to have it, even if you have the gene that makes you more susceptible to it. If you make changes in your lifestyle and your diet, you can either postpone it a long time, or you can even not have it at all. So it does take a sacrifice, just like everything else we've been talking about this morning, about the choices, about the answer may be easy, but the choices aren't easy. And Zelda, what you've said since you've been on the show as well, talking about sacrifices you have to make. If you want real health, you have to make those sacrifices. Then you end up finding out they aren't really sacrifices. At the beginning they are. You get rid of the sugar and you got sugar cravings. But then you substitute things in and your body gets used to it. So this is not so bad after all. Just like the coffee that Jodi mentioned, this isn't really coffee. It has stimulants like a caffeine just because of the nutrients that are in it. I'll tell you that there's a competition at the Olympics yesterday, I don't know which the time zone it was, but synchronized diving, 2 women from the United States, surprisingly got a silver medal. Weren't expected to get a silver medal, and they asked one of the divers, what made the big difference for you in your game? She said, when my coach told me to stop drinking coffee and get off the sugar, that's when my game really rises up to the level it is now, and that's why I'm an Olympic medalist.
Wow, she said that?
Wow.
She said that. Auntie Or was a commentator that I spoke to her, and she said, this is why I am where I am today. I cut out the sugar, I cut out the caffeine, and I severely limited my sugar.
Wow.
People are getting
like you were talking about brain on fire, she said I wasn't able to focus. And if you're doing synchronized diving, you got to be exactly in tune with your partner, and you can't focus, you can't win. And I think I would argue that's like that for business and even a relationship. If you can't focus on your partner, you can't be cognizant of what things are going on, it's not going to work.
Wow. I would think because you're an athlete, you would need more sugar, and you just proved that to be wrong. I can't believe it.
A distinction. That's not true. You do need more sugar, but you don't need added sugar. You need sugar from things that have fiber, apples, bananas, berries. So you want it naturally occurring in your fruits and vegetables because they have sugar in it, and that's okay. Eat your apples, pears, peaches, berries, blueberries, blackberries. Bananas are amazing. But as soon as you extract it out, okay, and you make a juice out of it, now you're spiking your sugar levels. You want it intact. Because when sugar is paired with the fiber, it actually helps the body heal itself and function at its full potential.
I was told, Jodi, that the body does not know the difference between natural sugars and fake sugars. I heard somebody say that. Is that true?
No.
Okay. Wrong information.
Oh, yeah. Okay, first of all, the body does not recognize synthetics. And when you put a synthetic into your body, it gets stored into your fat cells.
It starts to what?
That synthetic is stored in your fat cells. And because it's not being pulled out of your fat cells, unless you intentionally do that, which I can share offline how to do that, then it turns into disease. So it absolutely knows the difference.
Okay.
I will fight anybody tooth and nail on that.
Okay. It knows the difference in respect to. Okay, I get that now. Okay, whether it's still sugar, whether it's natural sugar or artificial sugar. Okay, I get that.
Well, the artificial
it just goes to show all the information you need is not always correct, so you need to ask an expert like Jodi.
Well, I don't know that I'm an expert. I'm well read and I am certified, but the thing is that here's the other thing about these artificial sweeteners, and really thank you for bringing it up because I didn't even bring it up. So these artificial sweeteners
worse than sugar.
What?
Worse than sugar.
Yeah, because it takes your body out of balance, and so the body that first of all storing the aspartame or whatever other synthetic into your fat cells that turns into cancer. Okay, that's not even a question.
Yeah.
If you have a question about it, go to the Truth About Cancer, and it's in there. Secondly, if you're eating this, it kind of like disrupts the whole balance and processing of your body, your brain. And so if your brain doesn't know what to do with it, it gets kind of funky and you're not processing. Now, if you're consuming that sugar, let's say with a Coke, right? With a Diet Coke, and I have this great image here, but I don't know how to share the image because it's not on a, I don't know how to share the image.
Is it on your desktop?
It is on my desktop.
Go to share. Well, let's go to the last break, and then we can go through because that's going to take a minute.
Okay, so what should I do while we're on break?
Go to share.
Yeah.
And a little screen will pop up, and it'll say share screen or video. I have to go to my.
Yeah, it says entire screen, window, or Chrome tab, and it's not on any.
The one all the way to the right.
Yeah, but it's not in a tab. It's in my, it's a photo on my desktop.
On your desktop.
Here, I'll run this. I'll try to figure out. Hold
okay. The one on the top as opposed to the one on the bottom. Let me pull it up.
With a simple blood test and food plan, Suson Essentials will help your business, your family, and you eliminate toxins and create a step-by-step plan to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Click here to learn more.
All right. And we'll do this one.
You are tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in this city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage, or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago.
So we are back. So the infographics that I wanted to share, which I don't think that I can. I can share it in the thread on YouTube and Facebook later after the show.
Yes, you can. I just found it.
Oh, you can? Okay. So
click on share and then video file.
Yeah.
And pull up the file from wherever it is.
But it's not a video. It's just a screenshot.
Okay. So let's go to share and pull up share screen. Mm-hmm. Go to Chrome tab all the way on the right.
Yep.
And then you can share it that way. Be sure it's the last screen on your page, though, on your computer.
Yeah, so it's not even on a tab. It's on a desktop. So I'm wondering, yeah, so it's a Chrome tab. It doesn't work.
You're on your desktop. If you minimize that screen that you had there.
Mm-hmm.
and you should be able to see the file and just pull it up. Click on it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I do see the file. It's not. It won't be recognized by this system. So what I am going to do is, well, I could text you the file,
Okay.
and maybe you can get it up there. But basically, the first file it says sugar. It's got sugar, and it's in a skull. And it says sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine. And it says,
ooh, say that again.
Yeah, sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine. And what's interesting is while cocaine and heroin activate only one spot for pleasure in the brain, sugar lights up the brain like a pinball machine. Dr. Mark Hyman, thetruthaboutcancer.com. I wonder if I can pull it up on the Truth About Cancer. I bet you I can.
Yeah.
So, sugar and cocaine. Let's see. But I don't see it. But the thing is that well, here's a really cool one. It says why sugar is called the white death.
The white death.
Here, I'll show you guys that one. That's kind of interesting. And what I am actually going to encourage people to do, start researching this. Okay. I mean, it says sugar alters the brain. Here's another one. Sugar alters brain chemistry after only 12 days. Okay. Wow. So new research in pigs finds that sugar intake alters the reward processing circuitry of the brain in a similar way to addictive drugs. Sugar's a drug. I mean, here's the thing. That's what people need to know. Okay. So sugar's a drug. And it's nothing other than a drug. And so if you're going to continue having sugar, then, know that there are consequences that come with that. Okay. It takes about 10 to 12 days to rewire, to get your body to, kind of go back to homeostasis. There are ways to, using oregano. I use oregano when I've had sugar.
Yeah.
I use oregano in a veggie cap, and that tends to be pretty helpful in bringing homeostasis to my body faster. But it's, sugar's damaging on any level. So, do you want to share anything about sugar? And Naima, you're both still on.
I love her analogy. She compares it to crack cocaine. Business owners of sugar products are in the business of making money, a repeat business.
Really is.
Andrew. Was that Andrew?
I don't know.
No, I'm here. Yeah.
And then here's the other thing. So here's the other infographic I have from Mercola, Dr. Mercola. And I'll share this later in the thread after the show. What happens to your body within 1 hour of drinking a Coke? Okay.
Wow.
So listen to this. Within the first 10 minutes, 10 teaspoons of sugar enter your system. This represents 100% of the daily recommended value. The only reason that you do not vomit due to the excessive amounts of sugar is because the phosphoric acid it contains eliminates the flavor. Crap.
Really?
Yes. That's why you're not throwing up. Now, in 20 minutes, your blood sugar levels skyrocket and your liver responds to this explosion of insulin by converting large amounts of sugar into fat. In less than 40 minutes, the caffeine is completely absorbed. Your eyes dilate, your blood pressure shoots up, and your liver sends more sugar into your bloodstream. Okay, we're not done. Now in 45 minutes, your body increases production of dopamine, which stimulates the pleasure feeling centers of your brain, a physical reaction identical to taking heroin.
Ooh.
After 60 minutes, you face a decrease in blood sugar. What do you think that looks like, people?
Oh my goodness. Where is that article at?
I have a screenshot. I'll post it. Here, I'll even send it to you right now.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
it's just, it's crazy to me that people are being drug dealers,
Wow. The real drug dealers are the sugar manufacturers, and we're not putting them in jail. They should be locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So how about some tips for people to overcome these sugar cravings? How about that?
Yes, please. Go ahead. You know this.
I didn't hear that. Say that again. Repeat what he said, Jodi.
I'll give you some tips to overcome those cravings.
Oh.
So sugar blocker 1, have a fatty snack 10 to 30 minutes before your meals because you're going to remain fuller longer. So the outlet of your stomach is a muscular ring or valve, and it regulates the speed at which the food leaves your stomach. The fat triggers a reflex that constricts that valve and slows down digestion. So if you add some healthy fat, even a teaspoon, that'll do the trick.
Like an avocado.
Like an avocado. Perfect. Slow down.
Keep an avocado with you.
All right, number two. I already heard this from you, Zelda. You said you could start your meal with a salad. Why? Because it's going to soak up the starch and the sugar that you eat later on in the meal. Right? The fiber from the plant. It doesn't have to be a salad. It could be carrots, apples, oranges, beans. It acts like a sponge in your intestines, traps the starch and sugar, and it enables you to process it better. The glucose it absorbs seeps into your bloodstream more slowly, and so your body needs less insulin to handle it. So vegetables first, fat vegetables. Here's another one, which we've talked about. Have some apple cider vinegar. I know we've talked about that on this show.
Oh, yeah.
The high acid content in vinegar deactivates the amylase, the enzyme that turns starch into sugar. So it doesn't matter actually what kind of vinegar you use because it acts on the starch only. There's no effect on the absorption of sugar. So in other words, it will help if you eat bread but not candy. So it helps with the starch. There's one more benefit. Vinegar also increases the body's sensitivity to insulin. So vinegar is a good idea. And vinegar at the beginning of the meal is a good idea. So fat, vinegar, and salad and vegetables.
So you know we're refined vinegar, Andrew.
What's that?
You know we're refined vinegar, don't you? Kombucha.
Kombucha, okay. Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It's in your kombucha.
With all other sugar.
No. So there are several kombuchas that don't have sugar. Triology is the type. It's what is it, Andrew? What's that GTS that we use? Is that right? GTS kombucha? Yeah. I'll look it up. Keep talking, Andrew. I'll get the screenshot.
Wow, that's good information.
We know the importance of protein. And also, one thing you don't know about protein, or maybe I didn't know, is you won't secrete as much insulin if you eat the protein. So here's the paradox. If you want to stop the insulin spikes, to do that, you need to start secreting insulin sooner rather than later. It's like a fire department responding to a fire. The quicker the alarm goes off, the fewer firefighters will be needed to put out that big fire. Protein has no glucose. It actually triggers the first phase of insulin response. It occurs so fast, it keeps your blood sugar from rising higher. It reduces the total amount of insulin you need to handle your meal. So basically, when you have your spaghetti, have the meatballs in it too.
Really?
Wait a second. I want to take that a step further. So for people,
what do you do if you're vegan?
Well, I'm going to show you something. Hold on.
Okay.
So let me handle the noodles first. Okay.
I've seen that synergy.
Yeah. So now there are some that have added sugar, but most of this brand does not have added sugar. So my friend, Dr. Jonathan Karp, owns this. He owns this company. I'm going to remove this one and show you the next one. Let me just get rid of that. And so for the noodles, right? Because noodles will convert into sugar fast, right?
Which noodles?
Pasta, like regular pasta wheat noodles.
Not those noodles that I got. Yeah, not those noodles. Yeah.
Not these noodles. These noodles are good noodles.
Those noodles
lost a lot of weight. These noodles are actually, they have now ready-to-eat meals like bone broth, beef noodle soup.
Oh, wow.
Rice.
I ordered a box. They are delicious.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta do that.
And they'll send you an update when they're on sale, too. I love that.
Well, you can buy straight from their website.
I did.
And
after I went to Whole Foods and saw how expensive they were, like, yeah, let me just order a case.
Yeah, and then Susan Karp, she makes a lot of these recipes: salmon noodle casserole, shrimp and chicken, chillin' sea bass. And here's what you want to know: these noodles are made from the konjac plant, so they don't spike your sugar levels. It's a vegetable, so it's made with filtered water. I think a slice or like a hint of trace of lime as a preservative. And then the konjac flour, and that's it. And it's so good. And you want to talk about filling up your tummy and staying able to sleep throughout the night. Like I take the miracle rice. Let me show you this.
But why? I've never seen a plant that was white. So I guess maybe you just answered my question about.
You have, Zelda.
I have.
Yes, you have.
What? Cauliflower. Duh. So I'm thinking there's either some cauliflower in it or there's some flour in it, because I just never knew there was a white vegetable except for cauliflower. Yeah. So the plant that it comes from mixed with some kind of flour makes it white, because I didn't know that the plant that it came from was white.
Well, it could be. I'm going to look it up what the konjac flour looks like.
What's it called? How do you spell that?
Konjac plant. K-O-N. I've got it up. So it's interesting. So let's take a look at that.
C-O-N-J-A?
J-A-K. Mm-hmm. Okay. So can we all see that?
Oh, okay.
So it is white on the inside.
Okay, looks like ginger.
It does look like ginger.
Looks a lot like ginger. Okay, wow.
And here's another. So in this one talks in medical news today. It talks about the benefits, right? It's a high fiber dietary supplement. It's played a huge role in Japanese and Chinese medicine. And the cool thing is that's how Dr. Jonathan Karp learned about this plant. I think he was in Japan, and it was served to him. And so then he came back and created miracle noodles, like that.
Oh, wow.
So, so if I stop the screen share here for a minute, I'll go to another page and show you this, what they make out of this. Let me just go here. The benefits are diabetes management, okay, weight management, cholesterol management, constipation. Wow. So it regulates your bowel movements. Super healthy skin. Why do you have healthy skin from eating this? Because now you're pooping. People, you need to poop.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of constipation going on right now. People don't talk about it, but it's a lot of constipated people.
Oh, no, I'm going to talk to people about poop. If you're not pooping after every meal, that's a problem.
Yep.
Because now the food that you ate is, creating bacteria in your intestinal tract. It's just sitting there.
You wonder why you have headaches and aches and pains in your body.
Right.
Because that stuff has got to come out, and it comes out through your skin.
Right. So if it's
have a funny body odor, there's something they're eating.
Yeah, if it's not coming out through your tushy, guess what? It's coming out through your skin. It's coming out through your mood.
Yep.
So here, this is a great solution. Miracle Noodles, you can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them at on their website direct. I know that some of them are available on myformulary.com, which I will be launching my site today and sharing with people. You need to have easy solutions, and I'll just bring this up again. So monk fruit, zero glycemic monk fruit sweetener by Lactanto for the people who can see that. It comes in golden and white. So I make keto brownies, and I like having powdered sugar, so it has it as a powdered sugar as well. You sprinkle right on top. If you can tell the difference, I'll give you a bottle of essential oil of your choosing, okay?
Wow.
Then I just want to say this. If you want to quit your sugar cravings, Slim and Sassy essential oil.
And
so,
can you drop that in the mail for me today, dear?
Yes, I can.
Wow.
So Slim and Sassy essential oil. Well, I looked at this. It sat on my shelf for 6 months before I used it. So, because I didn't like the name.
Oh.
Okay. So, but look at what it's got in it. It's got grapefruit peel, okay, lemon peel. It's got peppermint plant, ginger root, and cinnamon bark.
What?
Yeah. Guess what these all have in common? They're anti-inflammatories.
Oh my goodness.
I lost my first 45 pounds just with this bottle.
Wow. And you put it in what?
So, okay, I put it in water. I don't recommend it. I prefer putting in a veggie cap. And actually what I'm going to do with it right now is I'm going to put it into my my dandelion coffee.
Your drink.
So I just don't want, so it can be strong for some people's intestinal tract. So if you have, if your intestinal tract is sensitive in any way, you probably want to put it in a veggie cap. Mine is not that sensitive. I don't have a problem putting it into my dandelion coffee, which now just went all over me because I thought I could stir it without a spoon and I whipped it together, and that's all over my computer and everything else. Okay, great, I'm fine.
8:57. Quick question.
Yes.
Can you eat those noodles for breakfast, like brunch?
You can eat. I put them in everything. Answer yes.
I think I will.
There are so many
recipes.
recipes.
I always order the fat noodles. I think I'm going to order the skinny noodles after seeing those recipes.
So there's also different packs where you can get a blended pack. So we do fettuccine noodles. There's angel hair noodles. There's rice that I put into my bone broth. Bone broth will help bring you back to homeostasis. You can go to Dr. Josh Axe, and he has on his site different recipes for bone broth. You can use his recipe. You can modify it if there's something in there you don't like. The most important thing about his recipe is the apple cider vinegar that pulls out the collagen from the bones, and that collagen will heal your leaky gut and help bring you back to homeostasis.
Okay.
Anybody wants to know more about this, I do have a functional food program, and I teach people this for a living. It's called the Functional Food Program.
60 seconds.
It's the most affordable program to reclaim your health that I know of. So,
wow. Thanks for a very enlightening show. Really appreciate it, Jodi. This was a great show. I learned something. That's what I love about the Female Solution. I just always learn something. So Oh,
the bitter truth about sugar, right? The bitter taste.
Yeah. Be sure and check out my blog. I just posted some information for Jodi.
Yeah, so I put your blog. It's in the thread. So you can go to zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. You also can download Zelda's book, How I Reverse Type 2 Diabetes, at the diabeticdonut.com. And, Zelda's got a great recipe. She's going to add black pepper to that.
10 seconds.
Sure am.
Yeah, and it looks like is the reading going to go on its own, or do I need to do that?
No, you got to push it.
Okay, I'll push it. There we go.
I got to add black pepper to the diabetic.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today.
Andrew is saying something.
We've come to the end of our show today.
Andrew, let me
but you can hear every show in the archive.
Andrew, go ahead.
No, I said I'll give you some more tips on curbing your sugar next time. You guys got talking on some good topics, but I figured I'd be quiet and listen.
I'm sorry.
Okay, then one day I need to have you on the show too, Andrew.
Andrew did an amazing presentation over the weekend on brain health. We all need him on the show.
All right.
I did on COVID and brain health for a nonprofit in Texas.
Watch our TV show. Listen to our
He did a show on COVID and brain health for a nonprofit in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Community resources.
Thank all of you who participated in today's discussion.
So,
and to our global family.
Okay, I got to go to the gym. Thank you much. Appreciate you, Jodi.
Thank you.
We're just letting the
thank
you ending go.
Okay.
India.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Arigato. Korea. Kamsahamnida. Russia. Spasiba. Germany. Danke. Poland. Dziękuję. France. Merci. Spain. Gracias. Italy. Grazie. Egypt. Shukran. Ghana. Medasi. Nigeria. Eshe. South Africa. Giabonga. Senegal. Jerez. Kenya. Asante. Israel. Toda. Pakistan. Shukriya. Afghanistan. Tashakur. Saudi Arabia. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.